The task was simple. Clean out the attic before our parents sold the family home in Portland. My older sister, Claire, the successful cardiologist in Seattle, had sent her regrets and a check. Too busy with the conference circuit, Gemma. Use this to hire help. Keep whatever you want, toss the rest. So, Gemma, the unfocused younger sister who worked as a freelance graphic designer, found myself alone in the dusty, pine-scented silence of our childhood. Mom and Dad were already in Arizona, enjoying retirement. The house echoed with ghosts. I was sorting through boxes of old textbooks and winter clothes when I found it. Tucked behind my father's old fishing gear was a small, metal lockbox painted faded pink. It wasn't ours. I'd never seen it before. The lock was cheap, rusted shut. Curiosity, that familiar childhood companion, nudged me. I found a crowbar in the garage and pried it open. Inside wasn't treasure. It was a diary, a simple leather-bound book, and on the first page, in neat, adolescent handwriting, "Property of Claire Elizabeth Morgan. Keep out. This means you, Gemma." I smiled faintly. Typical Claire. Organized, proprietary, even in her secrets. I was about to close it, some boundaries even curiosity shouldn't cross, when a loose photograph slipped from between the pages. It was a picture of our family. Mom, Dad, Claire, about 16, and me, about 10. But something was off. We were at Cannon Beach, a place we'd gone every summer. But in this photo, there was a fifth person. A woman with long, dark hair like Mom's, her arms wrapped around Claire's shoulders, both of them laughing. A woman I didn't recognize. On the back, in Claire's writing, Aunt Sarah's last visit, August 2023. Why won't anyone talk about her? Aunt Sarah. I had no Aunt Sarah. Mom was an only child. Dad had a brother, Uncle Rick. No sisters. My heart began a slow, heavy thump. I sat on the dusty floorboards, the diary heavy in my lap. The curiosity wasn't a nudge anymore, it was a demand. I opened the diary to the middle, my eyes scanning entries about high school crushes and college applications. Then an entry dated October 15th, 2004. Asked Mom about Aunt Sarah again at dinner. She dropped her fork. The clatter was so loud. Dad said, "Claire, we don't discuss her. She made her choices." What choices? Gemma was looking at me like I was crazy. She doesn't even remember. Sometimes I think I dreamed her up, but the photo is real. I hid it. My secret. I flipped back further to 2003, July. Aunt Sarah is here for 2 weeks. She's so cool. She paints, she travels, she actually listens to me. She says I have an old soul, not just a grade-obsessed robot like Dad calls me. She and Mom fight in whispers at night. I hear them, about responsibility and running away. Aunt Sarah cries. I think she's in trouble. August 2003, the day after the beach photo. She's gone, left in the night. Mom's eyes are red. Dad is furious. She's dead to us, he told Mom, for the girls' sake. What does that mean? For our sake? Gemma keeps asking where the nice lady went. I told her she was a dream. It's easier. I read until the light faded from the attic window. The diary chronicled Claire's obsession with the vanishing aunt, a mystery she'd apparently buried when she left for pre-med, becoming the driven, practical woman she was today. The last entry about Sarah was in 2006. I give up. If they want to pretend she never existed, fine. I have too much to do. But I couldn't pretend. A woman erased from our family. A sister my mother never mentioned. A secret kept for the girls' sake. I called Claire. She answered on the third ring, sounding distracted. Gemma, hey, find anything good? Who's Aunt Sarah? Silence. A long, hollow silence. Then the sound of a chair scraping. Where did you hear that name? I found your diary, the pink lockbox. Gemma, you had no right. You wrote that they said she was dead to them for our sake. Who was she, Claire? Another pause. When she spoke, her voice was clinical, the doctor shutting down a personal inquiry. She was Mom's younger sister. She had problems. Addiction, I think. She made bad choices, caused the family a lot of pain. It was better to cut ties. That's all. Now please put the diary back. It's ancient history. But it wasn't. The curiosity was alive, coiling in my gut. The way Mom had hidden it, the way Dad's fury had lasted decades. This wasn't about a troubled sister. This was about something deeper. I didn't put the diary back. I took it to my rented cottage. I started digging. With a name, Sarah Morgan, and an approximate age, I began searching online. Nothing on social media, no public records that matched easily. It was like she truly had vanished in 2003. Then I had a thought. The painting. Claire wrote that Sarah painted. What if she'd pursued it? I searched art databases, local gallery archives from Portland and Seattle. Hours later, I found it, a small digital catalog from a 2010 group show at a now-defunct Tacoma gallery. One of the artists, S. Morgan. The painting title, Two Sisters, One Shadow. The image was low-res, but it was unmistakable. A stylized portrait of two girls on a beach, one with dark hair, Claire, one with auburn hair, me, and a faint, shadowy figure of a woman behind them, half faded into the sea mist. Sarah was alive, and she was painting about us.
I drove to Tacoma the next day. The gallery was gone, replaced by a juice bar. But the building manager, an old man named Walter who remembered the art folks, was helpful. S. Morgan? Quiet woman, paid her rent on time, moved out maybe 2012, said she was going south, left a forwarding address for some mail. He rummaged in a filing cabinet. Here, General Delivery, Ashland, Oregon. Ashland, the Shakespeare Festival, an arts town. It fit. I didn't tell Claire. I didn't tell my parents. I packed a bag and drove south. Curiosity was the compass now, pointing toward a truth my family had buried for 2 decades. Ashland was charming, bustling with theater-goers. The post office clerk was reluctant, but when I showed her the old photo of Sarah with us, my eyes pleading, she softened. She doesn't get mail here anymore, but she works at the framing shop on Main, the Gilded Page. My hands trembled as I pushed open the door of the shop. Bells chimed, and there she was, behind the counter, framing a watercolor. Older than in the photo, her dark hair streaked with silver, lines around her eyes. But it was her, the woman from the beach, Aunt Sarah. She looked up, a customer service smile on her face. It faltered when she saw me. Her eyes, the same shade of green as mine and Claire's, widened. She knew. Maybe it was my hair, my mother's cheekbones. "Can I help you?" she asked, her voice soft. "Sarah Morgan?" I whispered. She put down her mat cutter. "Who's asking?" "My name is Gemma. I'm your niece." The color drained from her face. She gripped the counter. For a terrible moment, I thought she might faint. Then she said, "We should close the shop. There's a cafe next door." Over chamomile tea, her story spilled out. Not a story of addiction, but of love and betrayal. "I was 22 when I got pregnant," she said, staring into her cup. "The father wasn't someone the family approved of. Your grandparents, my parents, were furious. They gave me an ultimatum. Give the baby up for adoption and go to college, or be cut off. I was scared. Young. I chose the adoption. A child, a cousin. But I couldn't handle it. The grief. I left. I traveled, tried to outrun it. I'd come back to visit your mom, my big sister, when I could. She was the only one who understood. She helped me financially, secretly. That summer in 2003, I was back because I'd finally found my daughter. She was 18. I wanted to reconnect. The fights you had with Mom were about whether to tell you and Claire, Sarah said. I wanted to. I thought you had a right to know you had a cousin. Your mother was terrified. Your father, he said it would complicate the family narrative. He said it would confuse you, burden you with someone else's past. He said if I insisted on stirring up trouble, I was dead to them. For the sake of stability, for your perfect childhoods. She'd left to protect her chance at knowing her daughter, choosing not to rock our family boat. She'd been the sacrifice to our perfect childhood. And your daughter? I asked, my throat tight. Sarah smiled, a real, sad, beautiful smile. She's wonderful, a teacher in Eugene. We have a relationship. It's fragile, but it's real. She knows about you all. She never wanted to intrude. The mystery wasn't a scandal. It was a tragedy. A sister exiled for wanting to reclaim her child. A secret kept not to protect. I returned to Portland with Sarah's phone number and a heaviness in my soul. I confronted my parents over a video call to Arizona. I showed them the diary, the painting on my phone. "Who is Sarah?" I asked, my voice steady. My mother burst into tears. My father's face turned to stone. "She contacted you after all this time?" "No, I found her because Claire was curious enough to write it down, and I was curious enough to follow the trail. Why did you lie? We had a cousin, an aunt. You made her a ghost." "It was messy," my father exploded. "An out-of-wedlock child, a mother who abandoned her, then waltzed back in wanting to play happy family? What were we supposed to tell you? Hey kids, meet your aunt, the one who gave away her baby. It was inappropriate." "It was the truth," I said quietly, "and you took our choice to understand it away. You made Claire doubt her own memory. You made me oblivious." My mother sobbed. "We thought we were protecting you from pain, from a complicated, sad story." "You protected yourselves," I corrected, "from the inconvenience of a story that didn't fit. You made Sarah pay the price." I called Claire. I played her the recording of my talk with Sarah. For minutes, there was only her shaky breath on the line. "All those years," she finally whispered, her doctor's composure gone. "I thought I was going crazy, and they let me think that, to keep their clean, perfect story." The family foundation cracked that week. Claire drove down from Seattle. Together, we went to Ashland to meet Sarah properly. The reunion was awkward, tearful, full of 20 years of lost time. We met our cousin, Maya, a gentle woman with Sarah's eyes. It wasn't an instant family. It was a bridge over a canyon of silence. We presented a united front to our parents. Sarah was back in our lives. If they wanted to be part of ours, they had to accept it. They came around, slowly, stiffly, forced to face the consequence of their long-held lie. The curiosity that started in a dusty attic didn't find a monster. It found a wounded woman and a lost branch of our family. It didn't destroy us. It forced us to grow bigger, to make room for a more complicated, authentic story. Now, family gatherings are different. Sometimes Sarah and Maya are there. The air is sometimes tense, but it's honest. Claire and I are closer, bound by the secret we uncovered together. And I keep the pink diary on my shelf, not as a record of a mystery, but as a reminder. Some families are built not just on love, but on the secrets they keep, and curiosity is the only key to setting everyone free.